Hey, hey. Happy Friday. It feels like Saturday to me, actually. I keep having to remind myself that it's not Saturday. It's Friday. How's everyone's Friday doing? And where's everyone from? Put it in the comments. Would love to see. I know we've got Chris from Scotland. Where's everyone else from? Oh, Edinburgh. Nice. Yeah, Edinburgh is beautiful. KC. Awesome. Germany. NL, Netherlands, right? Albuquerque. So while everyone's doing that, Australia, whew, it's the next day. Yeah, Netherlands, Serbia, Mississippi, USA, right? West Coast, yes, love Norway. I lived in Oslo for a short period of time. Portugal, Minnesota, Miami, Arizona, Redding, California. You staying safe, hopefully. South Carolina, Louisiana. So yeah, thanks everyone. Good to see some names on here that I recognize. You guys are from everywhere. This is awesome. Thank you. I'll just start off by saying thanks for your attention. This is really wonderful to see that people care enough about whatever I have to say about these topics, and it's always quite humbling. It's been a busy week. Tesla Q3 ended yesterday. No, 2 days ago. They released the numbers today. Very encouraging numbers. I think retail investors were expecting more. They were expecting somewhere around 144,000, and official deliveries came in at 139,300. But still, this is quite remarkable. It's remarkable to see the growth. I wonder if I can actually pull up hypercharts so I can get some additional numbers here. Galley's doing some really cool stuff with hypercharts. So vehicles delivered. Yeah, I mean the oops, what happened? Whoa, where'd my hypercharts go? So here's vehicles delivered. It may show it reversed, but this is so great to see. Model Y, hopefully you can see that. So great to see Model Y here. That number is increasing. I've seen some critics of Tesla say that it should be more, but in a pandemic, I think that this is outstanding. This Model Y number, I'm most certain will continue to grow. It will increase, and I suspect, here's a loose prediction, in 12 months, it will be the best-selling Tesla that they make. It's an outstanding car. I've now driven probably 5 or 6 different Model Ys, and I don't know how many tens of hours, maybe hundreds of hours by now. It's an outstanding car and addresses a lot of things that people would need. It's got the ground clearance, it's got the headroom, it's got the leg room in the second row, it's got the hatchback storage, it's got the all-glass roof, it's got a very sizable front trunk. Thanks, Real Talk. When is Sandy coming back? Good question. I haven't asked him lately. I was in touch with him and one of his video guys earlier this week, and yeah. So I guess I haven't taken the initiative to do it. But you asking is certainly a good prompt to figure something out there. I guess I've got to think of something interesting for us to talk about. You know. We could talk about the Model Y, although I feel like maybe that's maybe a little bit overdone. He went into length earlier this year and during the pandemic, during the height of the pandemic at least, with his thoughts. So I don't know if that would necessarily be new. I would love for them to tear down another Tesla. Maybe the Model S or the Model X, although those aren't high volume enough. He's done Model 3 and Model Y. So I'll give it some thought. I appreciate you asking, and I appreciate the Super Chat contribution. But Tesla numbers are very encouraging. I mean, when you look at the context of the pandemic, when you look at the context of the pandemic, am I just totally off on time here? No, I'm good on time. Okay, I've got somewhere to be in a little bit. But when you look at the context of the pandemic, I think that this is outstanding, and it appears to be, although I'll add a caveat here at the end, it appears to be that Tesla's growing and other automakers are not. I haven't looked at the numbers specifically for other automakers as a whole, but it really does appear to be at surface level that Tesla is doing some things to find a way to grow and sell cars. And I know that I try and pay attention to a lot of critics and maybe to my detriment in some ways, but I like to see what other opinions are. You know, people might say that they're not selling them for a profit, or they're taking a cut on margins, but we really don't know. We really don't know what sort of efficiencies with manufacturing and production and parts costs they've found. All indicators point to they want to be a financially healthy company, and there's a lot of metrics here that I'm looking at that appear to be heading in that direction. Again, you know, you have to factor in the pandemic as well, but positive growth in many areas certainly is very encouraging. So congratulations to Tesla, congratulations to everyone who had a hand in helping deliver cars. I'm really hoping that build quality is taking a significant jump up, particularly in Model Y. I was very disappointed to see some people receive cars that would not meet my expectation and should never leave the manufacturing plant. So I try not to talk too much about that because I do have some ways to try and address those issues, but that's my brief 2 cents on that. I'm seeing a lot of Model Ys on the road in Denver. I'm not sure about you all, but I'm so excited to see the Model Y on the road. It's the perfect electric vehicle available on the market here in Colorado, in my opinion. I do want to talk about the Rivian thing, the lawsuit. I just haven't made time to do a video, and I've gone back and forth on the Rivian lawsuit. I do have some thoughts on that. So I'll try and save that to the end. Will resources for batteries become problematic for the growing EV community? It seems Tesla's trying to corner the market. They absolutely are. They absolutely are trying to secure supply for the next 5 and 10 years. There's no doubt about that. It's a no-brainer, especially with their ambitions that they have to produce more than 1 million vehicles. They have to start finding ways to secure those future raw materials so that they can produce more vehicles. I'm shocked. I'm stunned that other automakers are not doing something similar. It seems so irresponsible and foolish of traditional automotive executives to not be doing something similar. They've got more cars to produce anyway. So I really do think that they need to start doing something similar there, where it goes beyond just joint ventures with LG and Panasonic and CATL. They've got to find a way to start solidifying some of these early supply chain challenges that will very likely become a challenge. And this is not just my opinion. When you talk to people in the industry, in the raw materials, commodity industry, in the raw materials, electric vehicle industry, Benchmark Minerals is a really great one. I love the guys over there. They're doing some really nice stuff. But it seems like everyone who follows this industry closely is saying that if there is not significant investment, billions of dollars, tens of billions of dollars of investment into developing more raw materials, more mines, we're going to run into a shortage, and that's just not great for this movement of transitioning away from internal combustion engines. And all of these government initiatives and mandates to put more zero emissions vehicles on the road, these things require raw materials, and And mines in particular don't just pop up overnight. They take years to research, to survey, to get permits. So yeah, it's a little bit of a hot button for me right now. The more people that I talk to, the more I look into this, the more that I think this could become a national security challenge. So, so Tesla's ambitions are great. I still have not gone through the battery day for a second time fully. I started going through it earlier this week, and then just got busy. So I'm hoping to do that this weekend. But there's a lot of nuggets in last week's battery day. So many significant things that will be not short-term impacts, but near-term and long-term impacts. This is, as I said in a previous video, this is Tesla's master plan part 3. This is part 3 of their master plan. This is how they get to that next phase. They've mostly accomplished part 1 and part 2, and they're well on their way to accomplishing all of those items in part 1 and part 2. Part 3 is going to get them to where they need to be in the next, 5 to 10, maybe 15 years. I think I think that it was significant in that way. I'm extremely excited about their battery, their new battery design is a 4680, I believe it is the form factor. I'm extremely excited about this and the tabless design. And if you haven't watched my video where Ravi Kampaya broke it down in just a stupid simple way, I highly recommend it. I think it's doing quite well. It's probably got 45,000 views here, and we just published it a week ago maybe or so. So I would highly recommend it. It's a really, really good one. Yeah, Chris, Piedmont. That's a I said this on another video I think recently, but the whole Piedmont thing was just a stroke of luck. I mean, I was introduced to them earlier this year, had no idea what their ambitions were, got to know the CEO, felt like a good fit. Them sponsoring the channel seemed like a nice compliment to some of the things that I was trying to focus on, as well as helping fund the channel. You all know that this takes a lot of time, maybe, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours per video, all in, and that's without doing a lot of research. So the Piedmont thing has been helpful in many ways, and in the fact that they were the only company to work a formal agreement that we know of is quite exceptional. So I'm happy for them, and it seems like they can facilitate more than what their initial agreement was made for, and there's no doubt that Tesla can probably utilize all of the capacity that Piedmont can make. And then I guess one of the other things that I don't really know about that I think would be worthwhile asking is Piedmont's actually based in Australia. They're headquartered in Australia. So do they have some exploration in Australia that they're looking at, and will Tesla be able to capitalize on that? If there's a good symbiotic work relationship between Piedmont and Tesla, could this go beyond just raw materials in North America? Could this go into Australia? And could Tesla become less dependent on China and more independent? So, all right. So I think I'm done with Tesla. Can always come back to it. I probably have, I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes or so, and then I've got to check out and run. But the Nikola thing, holy cow. It just gets, this is the weirdest company that I've ever seen. And I have a lot more doubts about the company than what I vocalize. I am trying to be even-handed here. Yeah, I have a lot of doubts. I have a lot more doubts than what I vocalize. Nikola is the whole my whole skepticism or cynicism. Skepticism is probably a better, more appropriate word. My whole cynicism or skepticism with the company is that they still have yet to produce a vehicle. They haven't even started construction on their factory in Arizona, and I've heard nothing about where they're at with production of their Nikola tray in Germany. Where is this? What is happening there? They seem to have gone into damage control mode, and then the whole thing with attacking content creators on YouTube is just the wrong approach. It's just nuts. Like it's such a colossal waste of time on their part. Let people speak their mind, regardless of whether it's positive or negative. And it appears to be, the issue appears to be around the one video where the Nikola 1 is rolling downhill, not propelled, just rolling by gravity. It's their pusher vehicle. It's the one that's in their lobby when you go in. Oh my goodness, this company is a disaster, and it seems like every turn just gets worse and worse and worse. Yeah, I'm just very sad that they're trying to attack these smaller content creators. Go after the Bloombergs and go after the publications. Like those are the ones that can defend themselves with these small content creators. Why is GM confident with the Nikola partnership? I have no effing idea. I think that that's a colossal mistake as well. I don't think GM has any clue what they're doing, and I mean the biggest question around that partnership is they're not even using Nikola's powertrain. So what in the world? They're getting a Nikola brand, a new avant-garde Nikola brand that's now tarnished. That's now very well. Some people would say that they've always been questionable, but especially with some of these accusations against Trevor Milton, some of these accusations just don't put Nikola in a very great light, and that's not even considering the Hindenburg publication that they put out several weeks ago. So I don't know. I mean, what's going on at GM? I have no clue. I think that they've delayed things to try and figure out, do they want to cut bait? Is Nikola worth it? Is the collateral damage worth it to continue this partnership? I'm going to make a wild prediction based on nothing, so take it with a grain of salt. I think that GM's going to cut bait and terminate the agreement. I don't see any value in it. The stock has even lost value since that GM Nikola announcement. So what is GM getting? Are they getting the ability to sell direct to consumer? Are they getting the $200,000 federal tax credit for the pickup truck? I don't think that GM needs that, to be quite frank. I think that they've got enough clout to be able to sell electric vehicles without a federal tax credit. So that's just my 2 cents. My wild, baseless prediction is that GM's going to cut bait. So hopefully this video doesn't become too long and people can reference this again to see if I'm right or wrong. And I totally could be wrong. Again, it's baseless, but total speculation. But if I was GM, I would cut bait as fast as possible. EVs in Europe. EV competition in Europe. This is what we have been all waiting for. And meanwhile, the bears are saying that it's a death blow to Tesla. And this is just nonsense. It's great that these European brands are succeeding. I am so enthusiastic. I'm pulling up the stats now. Hopefully it's gonna render. It's not the quickest. So this wonderful website pulls in public data from Netherlands, Norway, Spain, and I'm going to actually query all three so you can kind of see what Tesla's doing in Europe. This is just a snapshot. This is not every European country's numbers, but this at least gives you a. Is it going to come up? Oh, there we go. It just took a second. So this just gives you a snapshot of what is going on. This is great that automakers are seeing some success that they're even selling more units than Tesla. I love this. I absolutely love it. You'll never hear me criticize. Okay, so this line here, this one down here at the bottom, see at the beginning of the year how they were struggling, and then in March they had some, at the end of the quarter they had some uptick, and then it's been virtually flatline from end of March to June. They saw a little bit of an uptick there, and then a monster uptick this last quarter. I think that this is going to skyrocket the end of this year. I think that they may not finish top in these markets, but I expect them to be top one, two, three, top three, I'll say. But this is really encouraging. This dark line is Audi. e-tron is kicking some ass. Volkswagen is kicking some major ass. Kia, like this is what we all have been, supporters of electric vehicles. This is what we want. This is what we've been waiting for. Other automakers to produce a compelling enough of a vehicle that consumers want to buy it. And so I am in full support of this. Even if Tesla never reclaims the #1 spot in Europe or in these 3 countries to be specific, cool. I think Tesla makes a more compelling car, in my opinion. People will disagree, and I'm happy to hear it in the comments, but when you look at the total package, Tesla offers a more compelling product. Now, this is going to change, probably. It's going to, the gap is going to shorten. But, yeah, no, this is live, Aaron. This is live, baby. But this gap is going to shorten, and I'm so encouraged by it. I will say this. Tesla is further ahead in their electric vehicle development. And so they should be leading the pack. And the fact that they're not is quite sad, but I suspect, and maybe there's no way to know for certain, but I suspect that the struggle in 2020 was because of the pandemic and shipping challenges and the factory being closed down and needing to ship those to Europe. Once local manufacturing of Teslas happens, I think that it's going to be a little bit more of a level playing field. In the meantime, European automakers do have a leg up because they can produce their vehicles on the continent, and the transportation distance is shorter and probably less expensive. So what's going to happen there when Tesla's producing vehicles in Germany and the shipping cost for these vehicles shortens and lessens significantly? We'll see. We'll see. To be determined, right? But nonetheless, this is exciting. This is what we all have been waiting for. Someone mentioned something that I said I was going to bring up at the end. What was it? Let's see. You know what's impressive to me? There is such a strong opinion. Oh yeah, the Rivian lawsuit. Thank you. Let me just finish this out. You know what's so impressive to me is how strong people's opinions are about Nikola. It is amazing. Rabid, like either super critical or very supportive. And I see that in whenever I do a video about Nikola too. It does pretty well. People are very interested and curious about what people have to say about the company. Anyways, the Rivian lawsuit, I haven't commented on this, and part of it has been, I know that a lot of people are staunch supporters of Tesla. And I will say, and I want to choose my words carefully here. I know people internally at Tesla as well as Rivian. And here's the bottom line. If any documents or information was stolen, it should be returned. It should be deleted. Like, computers should be given back. That is wrong for those employees to take those things if those accusations are true. They are accusations, though. And accusations aren't always true. There must be evidence to support that, and compelling evidence at that. I have talked to people at Rivian, and they underscore what has been said publicly. And also, what they've said publicly is in line with what I have experienced personally with Rivian. I don't think that they need that information, to be quite honest. The company's been in operations for however many, like over a decade, right? So I don't think that they need it. Could they be lying? Absolutely, but so could Tesla, and Tesla is not a blameless company by any means. Both companies should protect their IP and should protect should protect the truth and stand up for the truth. So I'm not as quick to jump on board that all of Tesla's accusations are 100% true. I can see how some people would say that it's an intimidation tactic, from Tesla. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I have heard that from other people, and I can see how that would be true. But I can also see why Tesla would take such an aggressive approach. But if Rivian is doing the right thing and they're creating a compelling product that consumers like, it would be foolish to think that they wouldn't come up against opposition from any company. I'll just leave it at that. So a couple more minutes here. I'm happy to field some more questions. So good to see all of you. Rockstock channel, thanks guys. I haven't done one of these in a while. I've been wanting to, and I'm sorry that it's been so long. These things are really fun because I can interact in real time and field people's questions, and I don't always get to do this in the comments of videos that I post. So I really appreciate the 350 plus people who've jumped on. I'm looking over this direction because I can see my chats a little bit easier. Greetings from Germany. I'm so ready to get to Europe. I want to go to Norway. I want to go visit. Sweden. I'm so pumped, but I can't leave the country, or I won't be accepted. Accepted to Europe. What can I tease out? What kind of content am I working on now that I could tease out? So I don't know if I really have anything that's exciting and noteworthy. Yeah, I would love to go create some content while visiting Norway and Sweden. There's some really exciting things that are happening. Yeah, I'd love to do some stuff about nickel. I think I'm going to do another conversation with Benchmark Minerals next week. I want them to break down this lithium production, this lithium refinery in Austin. To me, this is really fascinating. I do like I like the idea of EV conversions. I have this sort of fantasy or fascination with taking a Model T and turning it electric. Would I be interested in driving an EV race car? I suppose so. I don't have very much experience in it. David, what do I drive? I have a Model S, 2013 Model S with 225,000 miles on it. Interview with Lithium Americas? Probably, yeah. I just have to ask. It's not a bad idea. I do want to unpack nickel a little bit. I haven't talked anything about nickel, and I think that would be really interesting. Certainly another important component of what Tesla's doing. So I think it'd be a really fun one. All right, one more minute here, and I'm gonna jump off. When will I replace my Model S? That's the question of the decade, right? I think about it every day. I think about replacing it every day, and I go back and forth between the practicality of knowing that a car is a depreciating asset. And there's just better ways to invest money. I do have a reservation for a Cybertruck. Yes, this is correct. I have a reservation for a Cybertruck. In fact, I was dreaming about that the other day, driving next to a big truck. I think it would be cool. I probably would do it, although I'm not a truck guy. I just love the zany design of it, I think. I'm much more of a sleek design person, just in general, with design preference, but Cybertruck is zany enough that I think it would just be a really interesting conversation starter. So we'll see. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. My short-term plan here is to make some significant investments into some real estate. So that's top of mind to me right now, and I would prefer to wait to put money into a car. Again, it's just not a great way to invest my money and see it grow. So the Model S is running pretty good, although I did a $1,600 driver display replacement last week. It's been an expensive year. I replaced my 17-inch touchscreen as well earlier this year. I mean, a Model S out of warranty is fine. I think I've gotten most of the issues taken care of. So aside from these screens, it's pretty inexpensive to run. Motor is, as best as I can tell, the original motor in the car. I bought it 3 years old with 16,000 miles. Battery pack was replaced, but I was pretty hard on the first one. Charging it to 100% every day, supercharging almost every day. I don't do that anymore, but in this current battery pack has aged very well. I'm very impressed. I've lost 4 miles of range in 100,000 miles. So anyways, thanks for jumping on this Friday evening or Saturday morning, depending on where you're at, or middle of the night. Really appreciate everyone's attention. Hope everyone is doing fantastic, and I'll catch everyone on the next video or next live stream or whatever it is. So talk to you soon. Bye.